Hello everyone. Right, so what I've done, so last week and the week before, if you remember, I had a sheet and a blanket um, hanging inside the window so that the sun wouldn't come through and spoil my recording. So what I've rigged up this time is I found an old large tarp in the garage, and I've doubled it up and I've hung it on the outside. Doubled it up and I put a pole at the bottom where it loops to stop it swishing around. So we'll see if that helps. But of course today isn't as sunny, so maybe I don't need it. But we'll see. We'll see how the light is on the recording later. So we have a new president. So let's hope things work and that he can unite everyone as he promises. So at least I think he will certainly try to do that. So last week we worked our way into Bird of Paradise pose. And I quite often said it was Peacock pose. It was not Peacock pose. Peacock pose is a totally different pose. But I was thinking we would work our way to Peacock pose this session. Peacock pose, it's a challenging hand balance. You're supporting yourself on your hands. There's a lot of weight on the wrists. So if you have any wrist issues, I would not do Peacock. There's more weight on the wrists than there is in Crow. If you can do Crow, if you've got a strong core, you can do Chaturanga. Maybe you can get into Peacock pose. The challenge is it's a little bit different, I think, for women versus men, just because of the way we're built. You in Peacock, you bringing your hands down, you're pulling your elbows in. Obviously, if you've got breast tissue, it's a little bit more challenging. So just do what you can. But we'll work our way to that. Let's start off with alternate nostril breathing. I still think that's a really good kind of pranayama. It helps to calm the body and to center us. And we're still stressed. We've still got lots of COVID cases. In fact, the numbers are still really high in California. So hopefully as the vaccine gets rolled out, they'll start to drop off. Take the right hand, thumb on one side of the nose, ring finger on the other side of the nose. You're going to gently close the right nostril, inhale through the left side. Close the left nostril with the ring finger, exhale right. Inhale right side. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right side. Exhale left. Just do a few more rounds at your pace. Remember, we switch at the top of the inhale from one side to the other side. We're trying to bring balance to the breath, balance to the mind. This is a calming pranayama. And it may help with insomnia. So if you have problems sleeping, try it in the evening. Maybe it helps you. After the next exhale, bring both hands down. Let's try this kind of breathing. So we're going to breathe in long, slow, deep breaths. We're going to breathe in for a count of 3 through the nose, and we're going to exhale for a count of 4. So whenever you're ready, inhale, exhale. We're inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inhale. So we're trying to get the exhale to be longer than the inhale. One more. And then regular breathing. So that's bringing more oxygen into the body. It's a little bit more energizing. So we're calming the body and then we're energizing a little bit. But alternate nostril breathing, that's kind to do later on in the day if you want to try a breathing technique. Place the right hand on the outside of the left leg. Other hand behind you. Nice easy twist. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale into the twist. Inhale back to center. We always take an easy twist if it's at the beginning of a session. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale, twisting in the other direction. Inhale back to center. Side stretch, placing the left hand over to the side, a couple of feet away. Again, we're using that breath. We're inhale as we reach up, trying to get as tall as we can. And exhale, we're bringing that arm close to the head, taking that side stretch. You're trying to keep both hips even. You're looking under the arm towards the ceiling. Stretching out the side body, side ribs, and the hip. Breathe. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, placing the other hand down. We inhale, getting length, reaching. Exhale, we take the stretch. Inhale, coming back up. A little bit of shoulder work, bringing the shoulder forward, up, back and down. I like to work on one side at a time, but you can start with both shoulders, whatever feels good basically. We're just trying to get a little bit of mobility there, just trying to release the tension. Other side if you're just doing one side at a time. Both together, up and down. Just trying to release that tension a little bit. Interlace the fingers, extend the arms forward, shoulders back. Take the arms up to the ceiling. Eventually, arms are straight, arms are framing the face. We're breathing. We're reaching. So this is stretching the arms out, stretching the whole body, trying to touch the ceiling with the palms. And then we bring the arms down. Switch the way you're interlacing the fingers, just for variety. Turn the palms up to the ceiling, elbows in, shoulders relaxed. This is going to stretch the hands out, the fingers out. So I don't want you to have the shoulders up, elbows up. So we're trying to relax those shoulders. And then we're going to interlace the hands behind us. We pull the shoulders down. We pull the shoulder blades together. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. And once you've gone as far as you can, you start to tuck the chin and bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And then slowly come back up. Oh, another thing about Peacock, as I said earlier, we're going to work our way to Peacock. is there's a lot of pressure on the belly. So usually you want to avoid eating. You should, whenever you're doing yoga, you shouldn't be eating beforehand. So especially not a big meal. I have a light breakfast because I have to. But you know, if you've had any food in, just be careful how it feels here when we're coming into peacock pose. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Again, the breathing is slow and pretty deep, and we're trying to move with the breath, and we're trying to get that movement starting from the base of the spine. So I'm working from the base of the spine up into the neck on the exhale or on the inhale. This is a good way, you know, to warm the spine up. We're trying to get a little more space between the vertebrae. We come into neutral and core work. This is core, this is stabilizes the back. We're going to hold this for a little bit longer than usual. So we're just on our hands and knees, and then we bring one leg up. I'm bringing my right leg up. I'm trying to keep both hips equidistant to the ground. You don't want to sink between the shoulders. You're trying to hold that leg nice and still. You're going to start feeling those glutes working, lower back muscles working. And I'm looking directly at the mat. Now, if you want a little bit more challenge, opposite arm comes up. Thumb up towards the ceiling, just like you're hitchhiking a ride. And we're going to hold this for a while. Hold it if you can. If you prefer the hand down, that's just fine. Don't hold the breath. You're going to breathe. You're starting to feel those glutes working. A lot of work, this one. And then we bring the hand down, we keep the leg up. And then we're going to switch. See what a difference it makes if you hold these poses? You're having to work harder. Not only the muscles are working harder just to keep it up, you're having to sort of, you know, work a little bit more just to keep that nice alignment so that you're not sinking the belly, you're not sinking between the shoulders. So we're keeping the hips equal distance to the ground. Try not to bring that top leg up too high. That throws off the back, the alignment of the back. And we're trying not to sink between the shoulder blades. We're keeping the chin tucked so that the neck is nicely lined up with the back. And then, if you want, opposite arm comes up, thumb facing up. You're breathing. You're reaching with the leg, you're reaching with the arm. And of course everyone's different, you know, if you need to come out, listen to your body. We're all different here. And then we're just going to bring the hand down. Probably a spam call, sorry about that, guys. And then knee comes down. And let's do child's pose. Child's pose, it gently stretches the back out. You always want to make sure the head is supported. So let's take a little bit of a side stretch. So extending the arms forward, coming over to one side, stretching out one side of the back. And then over to the other side, stretching out the other side. And then back to center. We're going to stretch out the feet. I've been doing this more often. I think we might have done this last week or the week before. So we're on our knees and we're on our toes, and we're just going to keep the hands on the ground, and we're just going to rock backwards and forwards on the toes. And the toes should like this. And as you bring the heels a little bit closer to the ground, it's going to stretch out the back of the ankles, the Achilles tendons, a little bit more. And then maybe you can come all the way down onto the heels. If not, no worries. Now, to keep my balance, I've got to bring my arms forward. Otherwise, I'm just going to topple back. So my sit bones are an inch or two off the mat. Now, let's try this. My feet are on the ground. I'm going to let my sit bones come down. And then the challenge is coming back up. So I have to inhale, exhale, come back up. Inhale, exhale, up. No, it's not happening. Inhale, exhale, back up. Okay. Sometimes I can do that. A lot of core strength. You want to make sure the back is nice and happy. Last time I tried it, I could do it. Not today. Okay. Downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. Now eventually, as you know, we're going to get the heels onto the mat with the back neutral. If you can get the heels down, can you bring the toes off the ground? I'm trying to bring the toes. So I'm trying to lift the toes up, pushing the heels down. Bring the feet a little bit closer to each other. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, see if you can touch the right elbow with the right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee towards the chin. Inhale, extend. Top foot joins the bottom foot. We inhale the other leg up. And on the exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to chin. Inhale, extend. Top foot joins the bottom foot. Knees come down. And we're back in child's pose for a breath or two. Come up, sitting on the heels. Top of the feet are on the mat this time. Little bit of a back bend. So the fingers pointing towards the front of the mat, fingers in line with the toes. We open the chest, head goes back carefully, and if you want, you can bring up the hips, bringing the hips off the heels. This is a really nice way to open that chest. Weight on the wrists, so hopefully that's not too much for you. But it's going to strengthen the upper body, it's going to strengthen the arms. You should be feeling those arms working. Sit bones come down. We slide the hands forward. We're back into downward facing dog. We come into plank. We're holding plank like a plank of wood. Keep the wrists in line with the shoulders. If you start bringing the whole body forward like this, it puts more pressure on the wrists. So I always bring the whole body back so there's less pressure on the wrists. I try and get the toes totally underneath the heels. So the heels are stacked over the toes. Try not to sink. This puts pressure on the lower back. If you're up like this, it's too easy. We find that center point, getting the most benefit from the pose. Right hand to center, stack the feet, you bring in the left arm up, you're stacking the arms. Don't drop the head. Bottom knee can be down, top foot can be down in front of you. If you want more challenge, top leg comes up, you breathe in. If you want even more challenge, you take hold of that top foot. I'm grabbing hold of the big toe, and you bring the leg up. You're breathing. We come back into plank. Side plank on the other side. Left hand to center. Stacking the feet. Extending the arms. And maybe bring the leg up. Maybe hold on to the big toe. And then we come back into plank. And then child's pose. Anytime you need to come out early, that's fine. Just come into child's pose if you need to. And then slowly come back up. Onto the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti, mountain. Half salute. Inhale, reach up, try and touch the ceiling. Exhale as you hinge forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward again. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, mountain. Use that breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Don't forget, bend the knees if you need to. If you can't touch the ground or there's any discomfort in the back, bend the knees as you fold forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as we fold forward, relaxing the head. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. One more. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Reach up. Exhale, hinging forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale, mountain. Let's add a side stretch. Inhale, arms up. Interlace the fingers. Point the index finger towards the ceiling. You reach up, getting length, and then you take the side stretch, leaning over to one side. You're trying to keep the whole body in one plane. You're looking slightly up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Going a little bit lower on the exhales. We inhale up, reaching up, getting length, and we exhale to the other side. Inhale back up. Now to get a little bit more of IT band stretch, what you could do is you could take that right leg in front and across over to the left side, and then you lean over. And you should be getting a little bit more stretch on the outside of the, for me, at the outside, if I'm leaning over to the right, I'm getting the stretch on the outside of the left leg. There we go. Inhale, coming up, and I switch legs, and then lean over. And then we come back up. And then we shake everything out. Okay, a little bit of an arm stretch, and then we'll do some more sun salutations. Extend the right arm forward. You're going to pull that arm in, pulling above the elbow. Going deeper with each breath. Add a little bit of a twist. Inhale, back to center. Other side. Other arm forward, shoulder back. Start pulling that arm in above the elbow. A little bit of a twist. And then we come back to center. We come to the front of the mat. Let's go into chair, feet parallel, knees bent. We're sitting in that imaginary chair. You can extend the arms forward, or if the shoulders feel good, arms come up. Let's synchronize the breath. Inhale. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, we're back in plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to sweep that foot through, coming into warrior one. Let's hold warrior one. Exhale into warrior two. So we're keeping the torso vertical. We're not surfing. Talking about surfing, there have been some good waves in Santa Cruz recently. Not that I've seen them. Okay, reverse warrior. You're going to flip that right hand, so that right palm is towards the ceiling. As that arm comes up, the other hand slides down the back leg. Legs just as they were in warrior two. Another side stretch. We come to extended side angle. Forearm to that front knee, extend that top arm. We slide that hand down to the ground. We did this last week and we went into bird of paradise. But we're just going to hang out here this week. We come back into warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga. Chaturanga, you bring the whole body forward. You're trying to drop the elbows to 90. Hold it if you can. Inhaling into upward facing dog, looking up. Core takes us back into down dog. We bring the left leg up. Extended down dog, and we sweep that foot through. And we're in warrior one on the other side. Hold warrior one. You hold warrior one. I'm going to switch. You're going to stay where you are. Your next exhale, warrior two. So warrior two, I start to widen the feet. A little bit more space between the feet. Lines of energy through the arms. Relax the shoulders. You're looking over that extended arm, the left arm. We do a reverse warrior and then extended side angle pose. I like this extended side angle. It's stretching out the whole side body, and you can start going lower if you want. We come back in up into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Hold down dog. Maybe 4 or 5 breaths. If you want to go into child's pose, you can. If you want to do the vinyasa, you can. The vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. You're breathing. In down dog, chin is tucked, you're looking between the legs. We then look forward, everyone in down dog, look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up, exhale, we plant the hands, we're in plank. Chaturanga, inhale up dog, exhale down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we're going to sweep that foot through. We're in a low lunge. So the low lunge, you're going to feel the stretch in that back leg, the quads with the knee down. If it's too much stretch, you just bring the hands down to the ground. If you want more stretch, you bring the arms up. If you want still more stretch, your back knee comes off the ground. If the back knee is off the ground, when you lower it, go slow. Very slow. The twist. I'm bringing my right hand onto the right leg. I'm pushing into that leg, the upper thigh, so that I can get the other arm a little bit deeper. I can get more leverage. Palms together, elbow up towards the ceiling. Nice twist. Again, a little bit more challenge. You bring the knee up. More challenge. You extend the arms. Don't forget to breathe. We bring the hands down, hands together, knee comes down, hands to the ground, plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Stay in downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in the lunge other side. Another thing I do in the lunges is this left foot. It's glued to the mat, but I'm trying to pull that foot in. That takes pressure off the lower back. Hands down for an easier stretch. Arms up for more stretch. Knee up for even more challenge. And we lower the knee very slowly. We come into the twist. I'm pushing my left hand onto the outside of the left thigh, trying to get more leverage with that right hand, that right arm. And then maybe bring the back knee off the ground. And maybe spread out the arms. And then we slowly come out of the pose. We're back in plank. Everyone hold plank. Wiggle the toes back. Start bringing the whole body forward. See if you can lower the lower, elbows in, elbows at 90. If you can't hold, you drop. If you can hold, you hold. And then everyone into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we bring the knees down. Okay, we're warmed up. Crow, let's do crow, and then some of us are going to try peacock. Either of those poses puts weight on the wrists. If you've got weak wrists, sensitive wrists, just be careful. Maybe you're going to have to avoid the poses. But to begin with, we're going to stretch the wrists out. I'm going to bring my hands between the legs. So my toes are touching, knees are apart. The fingers are pointing towards the toes. Nice wrist stretch for me. Maybe some of you don't feel this, but I feel this. So I feel it in the wrists, and I feel it in the forearm, the inside of the forearm. Fingers are pretty wide apart. Try this. Push the little finger into the mat, and then the ring finger, middle finger, index finger, thumb. Do that again. Push, little finger, ring, middle, index, thumb. So we're just trying to push each finger in to the mat. Keep the fingers on the mat, but just bring the heel of the hand up. This is going to stretch the fingers out. It stretches each finger, it doesn't stretch the thumb. So just keep the thumb happy. I'll give the thumb a little extra attention, pushing the thumb into my left palm, just stretching that thumb out a little bit, and then the other thumb. Try this. Bring the thumb into the palm of the hands, clasp, extend the arms out to the side, and we're just going to turn the knuckles towards the ground, and then up, back down, and then back up. Okay, crow. Most of you know crow. If you don't want to do crow, a little bit of free time, just do what feels good for you. You could just hang out in the squats. To get into crow, feet are wide apart, toes are pointing out, heels are in. We then push the upper arms into the legs and we just hang out in the squat. So if you just want to hang out here, that's fine. If you want to go into crow, you bring in the hands onto the ground. You keep pushing the arms into the legs. It's nice, good contact there. You come onto the toes. Then you try and get the knees a little bit higher up the arms. You're looking forward all the time. Do not tuck the chin. You're looking forward. You're bringing weight onto the arms. So my knees, I'm coming on higher onto the toes. And I'm bringing my whole weight of my body. My sit bones are forward. I let one foot come up. And I let the other foot come up. I bring the big toes together. I'm trying to squeeze the arms with the knees. I'm looking forward all the time. Do not tuck the chin. And then come down whenever you're ready. So we're just gently moving our weight. So if you can get that nice light spot, you can get that balance. If you kick up, and I mention this a lot, you've got too much weight back, you're never going to get up. This is what a lot of people do. They've got this weight too far back, they want to get into crow, they're kicking up. This weight is still too far back. You've got to bring that weight forward. So it's almost like you're bringing the hips over the elbows. You've got to bring that weight forward, and there's a point where you feel like you're going to almost fall forward. That's that spot that's nice and light. That's when you can come up. The same with Peacock. You bring your weight forward to find that light spot. Peacock. You're on your wrists, you're on your hands, but this time you're making a T position, but you still have to bring your weight forward to get that light spot. Let me do a little bit of a demo. Which is the best way? Let me just do it in this direction to begin with. So in Peacock, we did this wrist stretch, just like this. But to get into Peacock, we lift the hips up, and I'm trying to bring the elbows into the belly, as close to the belly button as possible. I then bring my head down and walk the legs back. I lift the hips up, I squeeze the elbows, and I'm just resting. So my elbows are sticking into my belly, I'm bringing my weight forward, trying to find the light spot, and I let my legs float up. The side view. So we're trying to make that T, and then after you've made the T, that's Peacock pose with the head and the legs off the ground. Another pose is you actually bring the forehead down to the ground and the legs up, so you're making that slanted maneuver. So it's like this. Side view might be easier. So I'm bringing my hands down, fingers pointed towards the feet, my head comes down, I squeeze my arms together with my legs, so I'm walking the knees forward, squeezing the arms. I'm trying to sink the elbows into the belly. I walk the legs back. I come up again and then down. I lift the head up. I'm shifting my weight forward. I let the legs float. and I'm breathing. And then if you want, you can bring the forehead down and the legs up. And then you come down. It's an advanced pose. That is Peacock. Phew. A lot of work, a lot of weight on the wrists. You need a lot of upper body strength. And the belly, you're trying to soften the belly slightly so the elbows sink in, but you need to then engage the core. It's a little bit of a contradiction. You're softening the belly, but then you're engaging that core. Feet together, knees apart, hands between the knees, fingers pointing towards the toes. You bring the head to the ground. You walk the knees forward. I do this so I can squeeze the arms in closer. I let the elbows sink into the belly. Legs come back. I then lift up the belly, lift up the hips so I can get the elbows a little bit closer. This is where it's a little bit of a different challenge for women as opposed to men. I then bring in my weight forward slightly until the legs float off the ground. I'm breathing. And then I come out. It's a challenging pose. I find it quite energizing. Okay, play around with it. There's lots of videos on it on YouTube, so maybe take a look. So talking of YouTube, so most of you probably know I did my yoga training at Breathe in Los Gatos, and they changed the name to Breathe Together. And they've put together a video library, and a lot of the yoga teachers have contributed. I've contributed 10 videos, and they're doing a 21-day free trial, so you can access the videos for free for 21 days. It's called bto.tv. So if you go into Breathe Together Los Gatos, and then you look at the web page, go to bto.tv, you'll see how to register for the 21-day free trial if you want. And they also have a load of free articles. I'll send you information on the group list, on the groups IO. Okay, come on to your back. I think that peacock's worn me out. So that is peacock pose. Nothing like bird of paradise, right? On your back, let's do a little bit of footwork and a little bit of hamstring work. So we're going to take hold of the back of the left leg, and we're just going to point the toes towards the ceiling and then towards the face. So it's like a plantar, they call that a plantar flexion, and when you're pulling the toes in, it's a dorsiflexion. So we just point and flex the foot. And then we just rotate the foot in one direction, and then in the other direction. Now to get the hamstring stretch, if you have a strap, you can put the strap around the foot. If not, you can maybe take hold of the big toe, but we were trying to get that leg straight. If that doesn't work for you, you can just take hold of the back of the leg anywhere. We're just trying to get a stretch at the back of the leg. We're trying to keep the tailbone down. It's almost like you're trying to get a little bit of gap underneath the lower back. Tailbone is on the ground, but a little bit of gap underneath the lower back. Well, that's the intent. And this is a nice stretch for the back of the leg. So this is a nice way to stretch out the hamstrings. The back is nicely supported. The back is protected. After the hamstring stretch, recline pigeon. So I'm bringing the outer of the left foot onto the right leg and I'm pulling the legs in. This foot close to you, still flex, dorsiflexion, and you're pulling the legs in. Again, we're trying to keep the tailbone low, not up like this. Tailbone low as you pull the legs in, and I'm trying to, little bit of gap, so I'm trying to get the back more neutral. And if you want a little bit more opening of the hip, you can push the forearm into that leg. Another thing you can do, if you're super flexible, you could hug the leg like this. So I've got my left foot on the inside of the right elbow, and I've got my other arm around the outside of the leg, and I'm pulling the legs in. Flexing that foot a lot, and then if you want, you can just rock from side to side. And this is good. It sort of stretches out the lower back, and it gives that area a little bit of a massage. Nice hip opener. You're going to feel it on the outside of that left hip. Other side, we start off with the foot. So we're just holding onto the back of the right leg. We point and flex the foot. Do that a few times. And then just rotating in one direction. And then we rotate in the other direction. And we point and flex a couple more times. And then we're going to do the hamstring stretch, holding onto the back of the leg, back of the calf, using a strap if you have a strap, or you can hold onto the big toe. We're trying to get the leg straight. We're keeping the tailbone down, little gap underneath the lower back, or that's the intent. And we're stretching out the back of that right leg. And then we come into recline pigeon, outer of the right foot onto the left leg. We take hold of the back of that left leg, flexing that foot that's close to you. Some people like to hold on to the shin just below the knee, which is fine as long as your knee is happy with that. You can push the forearm into the inside of the right leg, get a little deeper stretch. You can even hug the leg, getting even deeper, and maybe rock from side to side. Happy baby. We hold onto the feet, head is on the ground, tailbone down again. A lot of arm strength pulling those legs down. And then take hold of the big toes. So first two fingers, thumb around the big toe, palms are facing each other. And we see if we can extend the legs into a V, or at least approach that. You pull in the shoulders away from the ears. You're trying to straighten the legs, you're trying to push the heels out, you're trying to get the tailbone as low to the ground as you can, and this is going to stretch out the inside of the legs probably a little bit more than anywhere else. And then we bend the knees, we take hold of the back of the legs. You know what we're going to do next. We lift the head up and we rock ourselves into boat, balancing on the sit bones. Stage 1. We're holding onto the legs. Stage 2, arms either side of the legs, knees bent. Next stage is we're straightening the legs. We're breathing, turn the toes, knees up towards the ceiling, and you breathe. If you're shaking, that's fine, it means you're working. We lower so that the legs are a few inches off the ground. We support the head with the hands. We push the lower back into the ground, abs of steel, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we come all the way down. We take a full body stretch, reaching with the arms, reaching with the legs. We emphasize the stretch on one side, getting into a banana shape. We emphasize the stretch on the other side. We recenter. We pull both knees in. Let's add a little bit of a twist. So knees come in, just rock from side to side a little bit. So you're pulling the knees in as close as you can. And then we take the knees over to the right side. As you extend the left arm, looking over the left shoulder. Try and keep both shoulders grounded. Palm of that left hand is towards the ceiling. You're pulling that left shoulder down. You're trying to keep that shoulder grounded. Breathe. Work at twists. And my right hand is on my legs. I'm trying to encourage the knees down, but the priority is to keep the shoulders grounded. We inhale out of the twist and we rock from side to side. We take the twist over to the other side, so knees going over to the left. I'm actually going to shift my hips slightly over to the right, and then the knees over to the left. And then extend that right arm, looking over the right shoulder, palm up, shoulder down away from the ear, shoulder grounded. Take a few breaths here. We inhale out of the twist, a little bit of rocking, and then we take let's do another full body stretch, just briefly. And what we'll do next, we'll do Supta Bakasana, butterfly pose. You're walking the feet in, you're bringing the soles of the feet together. We're making a diamond shape with the legs. We're keeping the head on the ground, and we're just letting those hips open. So if it does bother the hips at all, a couple of things. You could put some support underneath the legs, some blocks. If it still bothers the hips, if there's any discomfort, just come out of it, come into Shavasana. If the hips are feeling good, what you could do is just gently rest the hands on the legs, and just you're not pushing the legs down, but the weight of the hands, the weight of the hands is just encouraging the legs down. Eyes closed. And just let those hips open. Try and let all that tension dissolve. And whenever you're ready, Shavasana. Extending the legs. Bringing the arms either side of you, palms facing up. And totally relax. Letting yourself sink into the ground. Let's take 2 or 3 deep breaths. just like we did before, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Regular breathing. So if you want to hold Shavasana longer, go for it. If you're ready to come out, walk the feet in, roll over to one side, typically your right side, keeping the eyes closed. And then just gently push yourself into a seated position. I'm going to skip the Oms today. Inhale as you sweep the arms up, palms together, as you bring the arms down on the exhale. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together. Namaste. Slowly come up. Thank you, everyone. So whether you guys are Democrats or Republicans, let's try and work together and make this country a better place, more unified. There's been a lot of sort of them and us blame, so let's try not to do that. Okay guys, I'll see you next week, and as I say, I'll send you a link to that breathe information. I did 10 videos there. Most of them are like focusing on a particular pose, like 8-angle pose, crow, headstands, 8-angle, I said that already. There's one on hip openers, shoulders, that kind of stuff. But there's like several teachers, so it's good. Look at several teachers' videos, and it's good to get to learn from different teachers and different styles. Take care, guys.